Imagine living in a city where 9 people were murdered every single day. A city where ordinary lives became the currency of a multi-billion-dollar drug empire. This is the chilling true story behind one of the deadliest urban crises in modern history.
Look at the banks of the Rio Grande. On one side is El Paso, Texas. On the other is Ciudad Juárez, Mexico. A narrow stretch of brown water and coils of razor wire are the only physical barriers between the two nations. Yet this small border became one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Between 2008 and 2012, homicide in Ciudad Juárez exploded. By 2010, more than 3,100 people had been murdered. That meant an average of 8 or 9 killings every single day. At its peak, the city recorded more civilian deaths than many areas experiencing active warfare in Iraq and Afghanistan. That river boundary created a geographical bottleneck. It forced billions of dollars of legal and illegal trade through a tightly confined space, turning a border town into a highly contested battleground. Long before the violence, this area was known as the Northern Passage, a crucial land route connecting Mexico to North America. In 1888, it was officially renamed Ciudad Juárez in honor of the Mexican president. The city's modern economy was engineered by international policy. In 1965, Mexico launched the maquiladora program, allowing foreign companies to build factories near the border. Then came the signing of NAFTA in 1994, which turned Juarez into an industrial factory hub. Factories multiplied rapidly to maximize corporate exports, but local infrastructure was ignored. The city was designed for commerce, with little thought given to the millions of workers who migrated there searching for jobs. The population exploded, but basic services did not. Sprawling, unpaved slums spread across the desert edges of the city. Poverty deepened, and thousands of young people found themselves without work or a clear path forward. You have nearly 2 million people living in poverty, situated directly on the doorstep of the wealthiest consumer market in the world. This collision of desperation and proximity triggered the rise of organized crime. In the mid-20th century, Mexican smuggling networks were mostly acting as transit couriers for Colombian cocaine. By the 1980s, these networks cut out the middlemen and began controlling the supply chains themselves. Control of the Juarez corridor fell to one man, Amado Carrillo Fuentes. He earned the nickname the Lord of the Skies because he bypassed small smuggling planes, moving 8 to 10 tons of cocaine at a time using refitted Boeing 727s. He secured his empire through a system known as plata or plomo, silver or lead. He placed customs officials, the military commanders, and local police on his payroll. Those who refused the money took a bullet. In 1997, Carrillo Fuentes died under suspicious circumstances during a plastic surgery procedure to alter his face. With his death, the Juarez cartel lost its central authority. Without a single boss to enforce the rules and pay the bribes, the monopoly broke down. The most valuable smuggling route into the United States was suddenly wide open, waiting for a new claimant. In 2008, the Sinaloa cartel made its move. Led by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, Sinaloa recognized the vulnerability in Juarez and launched an offensive to take over the border crossing. The city fractured block by block. Sinaloa sent its armed groups into the streets to fight off the Juarez cartel's enforcement wing, a group known as La Linea, which was largely made up of corrupt local police officers. The federal government responded with force. President Felipe Calderón had officially declared a military war against the cartels in 2006, and he deployed thousands of armed soldiers straight into the streets of Juarez. The military presence escalated the violence. To match the army, the cartels purchased military-grade weaponry. Soldiers were frequently bribed or convinced to defect, and ordinary citizens found themselves trapped in a daily crossfire. Sending thousands of troops to shoot it out in the streets did nothing to address the network of political corruption protecting the cartels. Applying brute military force to a hollowed-out system only accelerated the killing. This diagram illustrates the engine driving the cartel economy. The operation relied entirely on the United States. Insatiable American drug demand pulled narcotics north, while laundered cash and thousands of firearms from American gun shops flowed steadily south. While the billions flowed across the border, the local population absorbed the damage. Hundreds of young women, many of them impoverished maquiladora factory workers, were abducted and murdered. The local police routinely ignored the disappearances, leaving grieving families to search the desert fields themselves. Impunity became the standard operating procedure. When local journalists attempted to investigate the quiet alliances between politicians and organized crime, they were silenced. Reporters like Miroslava Breach were assassinated outside their own homes, forcing the press into submission. The bloodshed in Juarez was a symptom of a multinational economic machine that treated human life as disposable collateral. The cartels, the corrupt officials, and the foreign consumers all participated in this system. By 2011, the violence slowly began to recede. Citizens fought to reclaim their neighborhoods. Community leaders rebuilt public programs. Factories restarted their lines, and businesses eventually reopened their doors, bringing commerce back to the streets. The homicide rate dropped significantly, but the underlying criminal structures survived. As older bosses were arrested or killed, new syndicates formed, altering their routes and alliances to maintain the flow of drugs. Juarez stands as a stark, visible warning. When extreme poverty, unchecked corporate expansion, and political corruption are allowed to fester at a major geographic choke point, the results are deadly. Ignore those conditions long enough, and any city can become a war zone.